Hi guys, welcome to module 4. We are in the last two modules. Okay, so today we're going to talk about children's communication stages, and we are hoping that parents can identify what is the communication style of your children. That's one. What are the stages of communication are they in, and some strategies that you can use that can help to improve your child's communication skills. Okay. Now, generally, you must understand that children in the autism spectrum may not know that communication is a two-way process. Okay, they just think that they just tell or they just look at you and nothing else. Now, before we even look at it, is that why do children want to communicate? Is because either they want to ask you something, or they want you to give them an understanding about what the thing they like, or maybe they don't even like, but they don't want you to disturb them, or don't know how to react in the social disorder. They just don't know what to do in the social settings. So, and what could be the reasons? Basically, could be one, the child have not developed the necessary communication skills, or he finds it very difficult to comprehend what people are telling him or her, and so they just don't know how to react. Okay, so it is very important for us to identify where my child is in the communication stage, and then take appropriate steps to help to develop. Okay, so that's one. Now, some ways children tend to communicate. One is what we call the ecologia. Ecologia means the child repeats the words that you say. For example, you say, come, sit down. The child also will tell you, come, sit down. Okay, but he or she has no clue what it means, unless you are showing it, demonstrating, and whatever it is. But generally, they tend to repeat. Or you see, you told the child to do something, it takes the child a longer time to process what you said. And so he or she, after maybe 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later, will come to you and say, come sit down. And you'll be wondering, why suddenly he's saying this? But if you recall, you realize that just now you told him something. He is repeating it at a delay. Then the other one is what we call the neologism. Okay, this means there's no such words. Okay, but the child may coin it. Okay, I mean, I can tell you this, that in my country, Singapore, we have this word called mamam. Yeah, you heard it right, mum. Okay, what it means is basically to eat. Do you want to eat? People can ask, do you want to mamam? That means, do you want to eat? So this is a very common usage with children. Okay, so when your child is very small and everything, people say mamam, or sometimes we adults also say, have you mamammed? Okay, there's no such thing as mamammed. Okay, that means, have you eaten? Okay, that's what it means. Okay, so this kind of words sometimes your children may use, which may sound very different, but it is something that they only will understand. If parents tend to understand that, okay, it is good for you to respond initially to it and slowly correct the usage of such words. The second way a child will try to communicate with you is, he can't, in the sense that because he can't verbal, there's no verbal, he's totally can't talk and everything. So he uses his face expression. For example, if he wants something, he will come and pull your hand and bring you to the thing to tell you to take for him and everything, his gestures. Or he can do what we call is come to you, look at you, and then he looks at the object. He looks at you and looks at the object. What it means is that he wants you to take that object for him. So when he looks at you like this, he is trying to communicate to you, and then his eyes shows what is the object he wants. Okay, or the child may come and give you a ball and say, let's play. It's his way of telling he wants to play ball with you. Okay, so these are non-verbal. So parents must closely take a look and identify the kind of communication your child uses. That's very, very important. This is can be a bit extreme. Okay, some children, okay, their form of communication is very undesirable way. For example, okay, they can be very aggressive. Okay, they throw things and everything to show that they want to communicate with you, to say their frustration, or sometimes they want you to play ball with them. They just take the ball and throw at you, and this is in a very aggressive way. Or sometimes they even harm themselves in a way that they bite their fingers, okay, to show their unhappiness. When you tell them to do something, they are very unhappy, they will just bite their hands or head bang on the wall and everything. So all this is another, I mean, it is communication, because you know, right, communication is, if I tell you something and if you understood it, that's communication, because that's all is important. Okay, so because of that, you need to be very careful, okay, how the child works, and sometimes the meltdowns are because of that way of showing their expressions. So this is undesirable behaviors. So you need to be very careful in preventing a child from doing this. So it may not be easy, but it will take time for you to slowly to take your child out and to show him or her what is a good way of communicating. Now, the first stage, okay, I would say is where the child is not in the stage of pre-verbal stage. That means he has not communicated. He can't communicate, so he is just looking at you and talking to you in a way that his gestures and everything. Okay, so if you are in this stage, okay, it is important for you to identify what are you going to do with your child. For example, you can provide choices for him to select. Even if it is verbal or non-verbal, it does not matter. If it is non-verbal, if he likes blue or you want a red, you just show him the two balls. So let him communicate by taking the red ball. That is a form of communication. Always give him opportunity for the child to come and interact with you, because most of these times the children will be very, very independent. They will just do what they want to do. They do not wait for you. So if they want to eat something or they want a chocolate, they'll just go to the cookie bottle, just open and just take the chocolate, because there's no reason to communicate. So what is important is that you as parents need to take necessary action. For example, if he likes chocolates and everything, put it in a hair tight, very tight plastic container. Please don't use glass container. You know why? Because he just drops it, and that's a disaster. So you put it in a plastic container for him so that he can't open, so he has a reason to come and give it to you. So that is a form of communication. Always use single words, okay, because he is not ready for long words. So always use simple words. Try to use the language or something that he can understand, okay, or to get attention of your children, like what I'm trying to do. By coming closer, you can see that I'm trying to get your attention if you're looking somewhere else. Okay, always talk in a way that he or she can understand. Take note. Secondly, the child has started to communicate. Okay, at least he is able to say one or two words. There's some intention that he looks at you and tells you something. I want something, or he will use one word, ball. Okay, if he wants to play with the ball, you just tell him ball, 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 ball. So this is where you need to bring in more words slowly. Okay, so you try to create opportunity for your child to talk to you. Okay, so you purposely put, you if he asks for a ball, please, you may know that he likes a green ball. So don't give him the green ball immediately. First show him a blue ball. Okay, so that way he will able to say no, or you can tell him blue ball. So you are introducing another color like blue ball, but he may not want the ball, so he may wait. Then you show him the green ball. It's a green ball. So you repeat the words again and again so that it is something that will sink into him. So if you look at the example, this is what I'm trying to say. If he likes a particular color, you just tell him you want red. You must tell him, okay, red is what he says. I mean, definitely you will know that he is looking for the red car. But what you should say is you try to complete one red car. So you are adding in words for him. so that he is able to understand and identify. Set up situations always, okay? Always start with something interesting way of doing self tickling. You know, you tickle your child one or two times and then you deliberately freeze. Why? You want your child to say, tickle, tickle. So then you tickle him. So this is opportunities, okay, that you need to create that will help you to communicate with your child and can see. Okay. Then this is where the child is able to participate in the longer conversation because he is able to talk to you and he is able to tell you things because he has his verbal talks. Okay. So this is where parents must be very careful in giving the child opportunity to develop his words. Okay, for example, we do what we call a what do you call that? Okay, the parallel talk. Okay, sorry, just slip the word. Okay, explain to your child what is he doing. So you tell if your child is playing with a red car, you must tell him, you are playing with a red car. You are throwing the ball to me. Okay, so this is what we call like parallel talk. So even if the child says, you are throwing the red ball, then you can say, yeah, then you throw to him. So in a way, you are parallel talking, or what we do a self-talking. That means you explain to your child what you're doing. Mommy is cutting vegetables. So if the child is looking at you, you can tell him, Mommy is cutting vegetables. Mommy is washing the fruits or whatever. Okay, whatever that you are doing, whatever actions that you are doing, you are telling him, explain to him, right? Explain to him. Or at other times, you should give for example, give an extension, okay, of your words and everything. Okay, say for example, if your child is blowing or you are blowing bubbles, it's very easy that the child may just tell you blow bubble. Okay, instead you can say I am blowing bubble. Okay, so to give the expansion of the words. You see, your child may not pick it up immediately, but repetition of it will help him to register in his mind. And maybe one day, 2 day, 1 month later, he will say, I am blowing bubble. It will come. Okay, it's all with lots of efforts. Okay, so that is the short introduction. Okay, so please put in your scan in the QR code and put in your thoughts. Okay, if you have experienced any of this, and what have you done, or what are your reflections in this, or where is your child, and so what are you planning to do to help in your child's communication skills. See you. Bye.